Hello, Internet. That's all I remember from the intro.
Hello.
Whatever. Bleach is over. It's really, really dumb. And we wanted to talk about it, I guess.
Like, what is there even to talk about? Fucking stupid as fuck. That's all you can say about the ending.
It can
They
be
tried to get
more
like
than
fan
just.
service and it failed.
It can be more than just Bleach ended and it was bad. It can extend out to a post-op of Bleach as a series.
I think it was okay as a series. It was fucking really cool back in the day when we were little kids watching on
like
Tsunami.
Japanese Ghostbusters, you know?
Gee, now it's just fucking turning garbage.
Hold on, I'm moving
I
it.
actually liked the final arc. That was cool.
I don't. But we'll get to that.
I thought it was cool until people ruined it.
Hold on. Let me get into my groove.
What?
So I can talk shit about Bleach. Bleach is awful.
Ain't it?
It has been awful since the Arankar arc.
You think that arc was awful, or like after?
I would say the moment the Ulquiera fight. I don't know what any of these motherfuckers' names are. God damn it! It took me like 7 years to pronounce like Japanese names correctly. I can't be dealing with Japanese Mexican names too. It's too much. It was cool when it was just. It was cool when it was just Chad. I could do that. But I believe the Ulquiera fight is the exact moment that Bleach went from, yeah, that's pretty good, to total trash.
Aspo.jpg.
But let's sort of start at the beginning. There's a phone going off right next to me. I'm not going to answer it.
Savage.
Hold on. I'm not going to talk until it's done.
Oh.
Someone in this house has to answer this phone, and it's not going to be me.
Like the first person I've ever heard say that they hated their run.
They hated their what?
The run car act. Like I don't. How could you hate that? I was like, it treated me of Bleach.
I'll be happy to answer that once this phone stops ringing. A man has his limits. Okay. Well, either no one answered or the phone is just timed out. So, let's start back at the beginning. It is 2001, I think, is when Bleach started.
2002, I think it was.
It was 2001.
It was 2000. It's 2001. At this point, the fucking manga community has more or less settled into One Piece and Naruto. Roughly around this point is where like the notion of the big three kind of started, I guess. Dragon Ball is over. JoJo is going to leave circulation soon. Berserk will I guess soon enough Berserk will kind of just be on perpetual hiatus.
Probably.
I don't know. Who gives a shit?
It already is. Fucking just random chapter.
And your two big options, if you read manga, are One Piece, which is bright and goofy, and to be completely honest, it's kind of like a Westaboos sort of thing, you know?
I don't even like One Piece. So
People in Japan who want to be American?
Yes, very much.
Oh boy.
But like the style of One Piece looks a lot like fucking. It looks like an American cartoon, like with the like big solid teeth and everything. It's got a goofy aesthetic to it. And then there's Naruto, which is a little more gruesome and violent. People kind of forget how violent Naruto was when it started, but it was pretty bad. And that it was awesome.
The German version, right?
Yeah, the German version.
Yeah.
But it would still Naruto's still a pretty young character, and he's such an obnoxious asshole. I think by the time Bleach started, Naruto would have started to get away from that, but that's that character's legacy for the most part. So you're a 16 or 17-year-old kid. Dragon Ball is over. JoJo is too goofy for you because you're a piece of shit and I hate you. And there's no manga for you right now. And then Bleach comes along. And Bleach is very much in the same vein as Naruto and One Piece, but the main character is older, he's more serious, and he fights with a sword. So he's not a little baby.
Not a little bitch.
That's Bleach's legacy.
He fucking got a hole shot through his chest and died and came back to life. Pure will. How's that not badass?
Are you still talking about the Ronka arc?
Yeah.
I'm starting from the beginning. I want to go through this entire story.
We just skipped like 3 arcs.
We could skip all the beginning shit. I think everyone agrees that the beginning shit, maybe for you up until the Ronka arc, was like, great, right?
Yeah,
What?
but I think to see why Bleach turned bad, you have to see why it was good in the first place. Because starting out, Bleach is kind of nonsense. Well, it's not really nonsense. It's just
That ending though.
Kubo is throwing things at the wall and trying to find what sticks. Because he's not like a dude who has a lot of experience writing comics. I think judging by his art style, Bleach looks like something that Kubo kind of started out with.
He had a manga before that.
He had one, but I don't think it was especially popular.
No,
Or I don't think or it didn't go for very long. It's not like you look at My Hero Academia, and from the first chapter, the art looks really good and developed because Horikoshi had like another manga that went on for a while,
I think
and it was very popular.
pretty good.
It was fairly popular. It's not a matter of the style being bad, but it's very unrefined, and you can tell that. And he's just sort of doing whatever. And he comes up with ideas like, I'm going to have a Mexican guy whose power is that his arm turns super strong. Or I'm going to have an archer character. Or I'm going to have the candy shop owner be this weirdo who gives them shit all the time. And he does not have, like, a narrative. He just has ideas. They don't, like... It's very obvious when Bleach started. The idea that, like, Zanpakuto could transform was not a new idea. It was not a created idea. It was just... That's something he came up with later when he decided he didn't want it to be just swords.
Well, I think that's like for a lot of manga. I don't think they have everything written out from the beginning.
I'm not saying this is bad. I don't think there's absolutely no way Araki thought of stands when he started JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah.
It's just, but you can tell. Like, you can tell that he was doing whatever he could kind of do. And as a result, he maybe doesn't know why people like the early parts of Bleach. Look at, I'm saying a whole lot. Like I'm having a death rattle constantly.
No, you can go on.
Look at, because the parts of Bleach that people like is the Soul Society arc, and then after that, it kind of wanes. Or interest wanes, generally, I would say. So you have fucking the Soul Society arc, which is a huge arc that escalates very quickly. And it introduces a lot of exciting ideas and a lot of exciting content. The character designs during that arc are all very good, and they're kind of building out the world a lot. Whereas you kind of look at One Piece and you kind of look at Naruto, where they were in the hundreds of their arcs. I want to say it was relatively early, wasn't it?
What arcs?
But like Naruto
Soul Society arc ends, or Soul Society arc starts at like what, chapter 60 or something?
It's episode 21 in the anime, but I'm
pretty,
not sure what chapter.
pretty early into the manga.
And then it goes on for like what,
about
150?
Episode 60. I'm only going off by the anime.
It's a fair amount of content, more or less.
Just this.
You compare that to Naruto, where that's not happening. You know, you don't have this massive. Basically, there's a war happening in Bleach in its second arc, and in Naruto, it's like, oh, we got to go find a new Hokage. Oh, okay, cool. Like in One Piece, they were just entering the Grand Line. It was like they're just starting now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Bleach, you really kind of got this sense of like, man, shit's going crazy.
Yeah, every chapter of Bleach is usually like supposed to be suspenseful.
So you get to the Arrancar arc, and you're sort of delving into shit that the other series, that some of the other series are kind of touching on, but not to this extent. Like, fucking Ichigo's whole, I have a hollow half, and it's evil, and it's taking me over from the inside out. Oh no.
Oh boy.
Like, they introduce and then begin to resolve that conflict at a very quick pace. Whereas in Naruto, it's established from the beginning, and they don't really start to take control of it until much later.
Yeah, but Ichigo also achieved Bankai in 3 days.
Yeah, that also. I mean, that kind of came out of nowhere in general, but it's like there was a hectic atmosphere to that arc, where that kind of worked for it. And again, I'm not saying this arc is necessarily bad, the Arrancar arc. I'm just saying it's touching upon things in better detail than its contemporaries.
Talking about the end of an arc or the entire Bleach? Has Bleach ended?
What?
Did Bleach end, or are you just talking about
It hasn't ended yet.
It's
11 hours.
Oh, so it's just an arc. Jeez.
We're more or less going through all of Bleach right now.
All of Bleach.
We're talking about why it got bad, and why it's bad in general, and why we hate our lives. In that order.
I think you hate your lives because you're talking about Bleach.
That's another reason, yeah.
I'm just saying.
So here's why I think the Arrancar arc is not.
Sword Art Online. I don't know, man.
Don't agree, man. Arrancar arc is the best arc.
Did you kick him?
I think he left.
Oh.
He left.
Fucking Omar. Back at it again.
I don't
I didn't even know what the fuck
kick
he was
people
saying.
ever. I've never kicked anyone from anything. But anyway, Vox. So here's why I don't like the Arrancar arc. I don't like the Arrancar arc because that's where the power levels got too far apart. The supporting cast of Ichigo himself were not very strong in the Soul Society arc, but it was like the second arc, so it was kind of okay that they weren't that strong yet. When they get to the Arrancar arc, they can barely handle like C-tier enemies. They're so far below Ichigo and the captains, and it feels like it just does not make for an interesting dynamic, I think.
Didn't they train before they went to Hueco though?
Train? Chad and
They did.
That's it.
Yeah, well, Ichigo was already fucking...
But it didn't really help.
I mean, he got his ass handed to him. Like, everybody he tried to fight, besides the first, Espada guy, the fucking Mexican dude, he got his ass, like, handed to him.
Yeah.
It made sense.
But that doesn't, just because that's like logical doesn't mean it's a good narrative. Doesn't mean it's enticing.
It just seemed like it makes sense for him to get his ass beat, and then, like, him to get stronger because of that or learn something. Whereas if you look at Naruto, how many times did some bullshit happen when he lived? Like, oh, we're gonna get fucking our throats slit up. Nope, here's Kakashi, save the day again. I think like every time the Naruto gang were in trouble, they never really dealt with it themselves. They always had like a fuckload of help, and then maybe like they finished it off. It was like every fight, or like Naruto would just talk to them, and all of a sudden.
I feel like they started to fight more diligently in Shippuden. But again, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about Bleach. Anyway, but I think they're on until the ultimate. I think it's just bullshit.
Wait, why? Wait, what's bullshit about the fight?
The fact, well, I mean, Ichigo died, and then he comes back for seemingly no reason and wins.
Because Bay was crying.
That face one.
That's like, it would be one thing if that was like implied,
it's like
or
the
if they were
same
like,
thing
you know,
with Naruto when he got his hands
a fucking hollow
can
can.
to the floor. And he sees what's her face die, and all of a sudden he's like,
What?
What?
When in Shippuden, when Pain attacks the village, Naruto gets the fucking rod spiked into his hand. Hinata dies, and then he goes apeshit, and he like basically like he would have been fucked, but then he comes back just because of that. It's like the same shit happened with Ichigo. It's like, oh, I'm dead, but
Okay,
my will to
there's
protect
two.
someone is so strong that I come back.
There's differences between them, though, is that we've established that there's like a set amount of power for Naruto that he can sort of tap into. Like, we know every tail is more power, substantially. And we know when he's under intense emotional duress, he can lose control and tap into that. Whereas Ichigo was dead. He was outright dead. A character straight up says he's dead.
But isn't
And
like
then he comes
hollow?
back.
I feel like
It was never implied that he could do that.
I can see how a hollow could bring him back to life.
I like, if they had been like, oh, sometimes hollows are create dies. They have such an intense emotional struggle that they restructures, or
I mean, when
something to that effect.
when Kozen
Or
the hollow like gains sight.
Yeah, but that was afterwards.
I just think that it makes sense for like him to come back to life, just because it's a fucking like shonen. Like he's not just gonna die. If he does die, of course he's gonna come back to life with some bullshit. It'd be like the same shit if Naruto like. Isn't that
he did come back with
happen to him?
some bullshit.
He came back to life from bullshit too.
MCs can't die.
Series do that. That doesn't really make this one less dumb.
I just feel like there's like plenty of shit.
If anything,
Like,
it's just
how
it's
the
a.
fuck did that happen?
But anyway, like, even past that though, like, that arc immediately goes into another arc with the Kurakara Town arc, which is awful. It's too long. It's a bunch of C tier characters fighting who I don't care about.
It was like, hey, let's see all your
But it's
characters fight all the fucking strong.
I don't care. Like, I just don't care. Like, at some point, you need to just. At some point, you need to sit back and be like, man, we got to prioritize who's actually important here, and we need to start finishing fights quicker. Like, a fight between two C-tier characters should not take 8 chapters.
You got to think, if the manga was going to end there, then all that would have been necessary.
But it didn't.
And people would have been like, oh, we never got to see this guy fight. Or that. Like, that's what people are doing now. It's like if Kubo had the chance to show everyone who like is still alive now fight, he would have, and people would have been like, oh, that's great. And then maybe you would have been like, oh, it's too dragged out. I think that if it would have ended there, you wouldn't be saying that it was. It's just the fact that like the manga went on for so long after that maybe it seems like it was.
If it had ended at the Aizen fight, it still would have been a bad ending, but it would not have been as bad as the one we got.
With the Fullbring arc would have been a good ending for the anime end.
I really like the Fullbring arc.
That would have been
I'm
fun.
the only person who does, but I like it a lot.
If it ended right there, that would have been perfect. Gets his power back, gets his hope back, gets his everything back. It's all good.
But fuck, what was I talking about? It's just there's one that's sort of the idea of there's just so many fighters in Bleach. It kind of highlights another problem with it, which is just Kubo does not understand how to develop a character, and so instead he just buffs out the ranks of his series by a lot. And it comes to the point of, like, you just sort of have to accept that you're not going to please everyone. At some point, you have to sit back and say, fucking, I don't know, Soy Fawn is not a main character, and you're not going to see her Bankai. And you're really not going to see her fights that much. Or you have to, like, be like, Shinji is a C-tier character, you're just not going to see him fight that much. It's just something that happens.
We didn't see any of the Visors fight. They all got shit on. They got fucking rubble fell on them and they're all dead. Meanwhile, Ichigo comes back to life as a 16-year-old. They're 100 years old and get wrecked by boulders.
Yeah, so even with all the fucking fan service we got, we still didn't get everything. And there comes a point where you should have to say, like, oh, we should probably just focus on, like, maybe the half a dozen characters who matter. And just say everyone else was fighting off-panel.
Yeah.
So that whole arc takes too long. Ichigo doesn't show up until the end. No one can beat Aizen, and they beat Aizen with a Deus Ex Machina, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
It's never implied that Ichigo can attain absolute mastery of his powers and fight on Aizen's level until he actually does it. And then they don't really ever talk about it again.
But isn't that kind of how Bleach always has been? It's like, what are we going to do? It's like, hey, we could do this. Hey, that works. And it's like the formula.
But that's awful.
Hey, man.
At least, like...
Before.
Like, at least with some of the other fights, though. Because so here's the thing about narratives, is the closer to the beginning of a narrative, the more chance and luck can play a role in victory. But the further you go on, the less that role can play. Like, you cannot have someone else bail your character out at the end of the story, because by that point, at the end of their arc, they should be able to take care of themselves.
Yeah. But that wasn't the end of the story. I mean, he lost all of his power basically doing that. It was kind of like worth it. It makes sense why it wouldn't be mentioned, because if you think about it, he didn't even know his dad was a fucking Soul Reaper, and he showed up there.
Okay, but that's not a good narrative. Like, many times we've had, like, stories where it's very obvious what might make sense does not make a good story.
You don't think so? It's just kind of like, okay, Yoriichi, Urahara, fucking Isshin, they're all there trying to kill Aizen, and it fucks up, and it's like, oh fuck, we're screwed, and it's like, well, Ichigo, as your dad, I know one technique that we could use, but I didn't want to use it because it's kind of fucking dangerous as fuck. And then he tells them, and then he learns it, and then he goes to Aizen and says, fuck you, Aizen, and kills him.
Yeah, that's a really shitty way to write an ending to an arc.
If it was, like, hidden that maybe beforehand.
If there was, like, precedent that, like, a Soul Reaper or something can, like, go to the highest level for, like, 10 minutes.
I think it's forgivable, though.
I do not.
I just, like, again, unless you think the same thing about Naruto, because it's like, how many times where it's like, I fucking hate everyone, I'm gonna burn everyone alive and skin them, and then Naruto's like, hey man, don't do that, come on, you're good inside, and it's like, okay, you're right. Oh, 30 years of fucking being an evil bastard and changed when this 12-year-old kid talks to you.
I mean, for one, I don't necessarily think that's not the case. That's also a totally different thing, because the idea of...
And both were defeated because Naruto talked to them.
Yeah, but, like, I understand that. You don't need to explain to me that Naruto can talk to people. I can kind of glean it for myself.
Bullshit. I feel like that's just as bullshit as saying, oh, here's some, like, last-ditch power that's going to save the day.
Well, he did have to, like, beat him first, but it's not the same it's not at all the same.
He could have walked in there, and I forget what the fuck her name is with the origami shit, but she could have just fucking slid a store right there up later. Naruto.
She probably couldn't have, though, because he beat the shit out of Pain. I don't think she would have taken it.
Wasn't he, like, drained when he got there?
No, he was like full back up. Because he's not using his own chakra.
I thought he got carried there.
But whatever.
Carried close, whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
But again, that's not the same because like the whole point of that Pain arc was that Naruto had to learn to forgive. He could not kill Pain just for vengeance. That was like a huge point they made, and they admittedly didn't make it very well. But him talking to people and convincing them not to be evil, that's just something you can do in your normal life. That's not like at the last moment, oh hey, here's a superpower that will finish off the enemy when you're in the middle of the fight with them.
You mean like when he got Sage of the Sixth Path? Power?
Yes, that's exactly the same. You know what? That was a shitty plot device too.
It just seems like, I mean, even when his father came in and like, that was also Deus Ex Machina as well, because all of a sudden, oh, he's gonna lose control of the power, and then his father comes in his head.
Yeah, that one was stupid. I'll give you that one. That one's a better comparison, but it's also really fucking stupid.
It just seems like no matter what One Piece does, it's fucking insanely popular.
Yeah. That
It's all about the adventure part of it. Like people
It's
love
fucking
the
like
adventure.
50% done with 700 chapters.
Man, people love the adventure, the world building. Man, gotta get that world building.
800
They didn't like fucking
8 out of 10. 8 out of 11.
But fuck. But like, if the series had ended there, it would not have been a great ending, but it would have been a good ending because it would have been very solemn. Of Ichigo defeated the enemy, but as a result, he can no longer be a hero, and he's basically alienated from his friends as a result of it.
Rip.
Like, he wouldn't be able to see Rukia, he wouldn't be able to see Renji. Fucking Chad and Orihime would still go out and have adventures, and he wouldn't be able to go adventuring with them. Like, even the rest of his friends.
A scene where like
starting
Rukia disintegrated. You couldn't see her anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. It was a good scene. That would have been a good ending. Like, that's the hero's journey. Is the hero, he gets to the end of his journey, but he has to leave the adventure behind. And it's solemn. He saves the world, but he has to bear the brunt of isolation. Because that was a big point of Aizen's character, was that Aizen was so powerful, he could not connect with other people. And now Ichigo is so weak, he cannot connect with other people. It would have been a very poetic ending. But then they decided that he was going to go and join a ghost detective agency.
What?
And then he went and he joined the fucking Fullbringers, and they taught him how to be a hero again.
They kind of just used him.
Which,
they did use him. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They did use him.
I know, but they didn't really. What did they teach him? Here, just get your powers
Get
back,
his powers.
and then
That's what
later, taking it, nigga.
They taught him to.
I actually really like the Fullbring arc.
Oh, you like the Fullbring arc, but you don't like the wrong card arc. Even if
I like the Fullbring arc because the Fullbring arc is basically like a Diet JoJo arc. Like, all the powers got weird and like bizarre, and like after the huge fucking slog of the Aizen arc, of the Kurakara Town arc, going back to such a small scale conflict was really refreshing.
It was pretty good.
I love it. And then he turns into a Power Ranger.
Yeah, he does.
It's great. Whatever. Let's talk about the actual fucking final arc, I guess.
Oh boy,
That's
here we
what
go.
everyone wants to talk about.
Yeah, that's why we're all here.
I think all of it was good until it started getting canceled.
Law.
I think it was trash from the beginning. I'm glad that we're covering the entire spectrum here.
Where do you want to start then?
I guess we can start at the beginning.
Or we could talk about Ichigo, when he got his powers taken by Yuha, how that fucking work out.
We'll get. We should wait.
Yeah, but that's when it was getting canceled.
Alright, no, fuck you, no.
Yes.
It was bullshit.
Yes, it happened when we already knew Bleach was ending fucking out of nowhere.
So fucking 2014. When did the Blood War arc start?
2012.
2013. 2012. Jesus fucking
It's been
Christ.
4 years. Yep.
when that arc
Got
started,
canceled.
that arc was advertised as the end of Bleach.
Yep, I
That
remember
Bleach
that.
was ending. Anyone who normal would hear that would say, "Wow, I guess Bleach is going to end this year." Not
Little do they
4
know.
years later. So I kind of like the opening of the arc, because the opening of the arc is just Soul Society getting the shit kicked out of them.
Oh, you mean when
Like,
you hung
relentlessly.
I don't know.
And then they fuck up Ichigo's sword, except it turns out that Bankai are, if you damage a Bankai, it's permanent now.
That makes sense.
It does.
Does it make sense, or is it just that it's not contradicted?
Not contradicted.
Well,
there's
that's what
no
making sense would mean. It's like it's logical because nothing is ever said that wasn't true.
But we've seen Bankai be destroyed, so it's a logical assumption that they can be repaired. There was nothing to hint that a Bankai that was damaged had.
Bankai's been destroyed.
Not destroyed, but Renji's got busted up. Fucking Mary's got busted up, and we've seen that you can heal a normal Zanpakuto on your own. So logically, you would assume you could heal a Bankai.
The final final release.
No one explicitly said that, but it was not a crazy assumption to make. It was never hinted otherwise.
And then we talk about Ichigo with fucking, what was it? After his Bankai breaks.
And then he goes to fuck with the Zero Division. Which, at least they were foreshadowed.
I'm telling you, dude. The whole ending of this arc was garbage. I think maybe from once the Zero Squad was defeated, I think it was downhill.
Yeah. You mean from the moment Ichigo actually started to do something?
I think. Well, I don't know. It's I was entertained with every chapter. I was reading and be like, wow, this is cool. It wasn't the best shit ever, but I was like, wow. And then, especially once Aizen started coming in, it was a good idea. It's trying to hype it up again. But I just think once the Zero Squad was defeated, it was just kind of what the fuck.
Yeah,
they were just never
that was because again, we just didn't need them to begin with. Honestly, the Zero Squad added 5 new characters that needed their own little narratives for frankly no reason.
And what was the significance of what Ichibei even told Ichigo? Because Ichigo did end up defeating him.
When he said that you will not be able to defeat him, the world's ending. Sorry, Ichigo.
Then he did, and then what the fuck's the significance then? Was there supposed to be some hidden meaning?
No. Kubo didn't know.
I guess
he was an asshole.
I guess Ichigo did technically have to change in order to beat Yarwick. He's sword changed at the last second.
Yeah, that was the biggest hint ever. That's basically telling someone you suck and expecting to hear that and change something very specific.
Yeah. Whatever. I guess let's just talk about the actual ending. I guess who really gives a shit about this arc? No one.
Bankais. That's it. That's all we got. Move on.
Yeah, it was just characters.
Fucking dead. Move on.
It was just Kubo was trying to give every character some sort of closure instead of maybe just killing them off left and right in a way that would make it seem like there are actual stakes in conflict. And instead, he's just sort of well, I guess I guess nothing, actually. Nothing happened. Well, I guess they would have to fight, right? There have to be fucking fights. There have to be, there's enemy forces, and there's, the Shinigami captains. I guess they gotta fight. That's how it works, right?
Is that supposed to be Kubo?
I can't have a fucking small scale conflict. I can't have a personal dilemma. I can't have something like that. I couldn't have like something happen in the Captains of Soul Society are locked there or something, and so Ichigo has to save fucking by himself and have a very small but fucking personal ending to the series. I can't do that. I need to put bread on the table for the next 4 years.
We should kill Kubo.
I'm Kubo. This is how I talk.
Fuck.
I mean, he's still rich as fuck. I don't really think it matters at this point. Nothing can harm him. Buddy.
This is were you under the impression I was rich?
Dude, think about it. All this fucking merchandise from Bleach, it's still been serialized for 15 years, and he has a movie coming out? Like, what the fuck is that? And if it's successful, he's gonna be even more rich.
It wasn't enough for him to for that anime to keep going though.
He wanted to go one step farther.
I doubt he was putting money into that.
Movies. He really does. He saw Attack on Titan. He was like, I really like this movie.
I hear that Attack on Titan movie is garbage.
I bet he did like that movie. How much do you want to bet?
Actually, didn't he say at one point that if he was gonna make a live-action movie, he would have wrote for live-action? And now there's a live-action movie coming out?
Oh, fuck. That's why he's canceling it.
Traitor!
Japan can't do live action at all.
Well, who's doing it? I hope not us.
Americans?
Japan's doing it, but they're just really bad at it.
It's Donald Trump. We ain't got nothing to do with it.
I don't want to be responsible for that. Let the Japanese be fucking responsible for putting a final nail in the coffin.
Hey, OD, enable draw.
I did. I think I did.
They will draw? Anyway, let's get to the ending fight.
Big draw.
Nah, man, draw is a disservice. Dude, I want to draw some penis.
Oh, here we go. I did it. Whatever. Let's talk about the ending fight, I guess. What do you want to talk about, boss?
Let's talk about...
Do you want to talk about Metal Gear Survive?
Let's talk about why the Metal Gear Solid Snake versus Revolver Ocelot was the best ending of all time.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
garbage.
Fuck you.
I don't like. I like that fight a lot. I don't like that the last Naruto game tried to replicate it though.
Did it really?
Yeah, the final fight in the last Naruto game is just it's just like Sasuke and Naruto really fucked up, slowly trying to hit each other.
Isn't
but they're
that,
like too
you mean
wounded
fucking,
to do it.
The last Storm game?
Yeah.
That game was like fucking an hour long.
Fucking. I don't like that because when I read that ending, I thought it was like, man, they were just going really hard and beating the shit out of each other the entire time. I didn't like the idea that they were like super wounded when they beat each other up.
Maybe their anime will do it better when it gets there in a year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What anime? Naruto?
Yeah. A year from now when the ending finally comes out.
Isn't it ending like this month? Not this month, this few months.
Supposedly.
They said.
They say that all the time. There wasn't supposed to be any fillers last year either. What happened to that lie?
They wanted money. They saw the money.
Boss, it literally has 3 months to end. So if there's one delay in the 2 months, that's it. It'll push into 2017. But who cares?
You're not. You can't be serious. It's a prank.
Yeah, it's ending.
You're serious, aren't you?
That's the fucking.
Oh man.
Yarwick is a really bad villain.
Yes.
I don't know what he wants. I don't know what his goal is.
Well, his goal.
I don't really know what his powers are, to be honest with you.
It's like Shadows, like Satella from Re:Zero. Spoiler
What the
alert.
fuck are you talking about? You're just saying words.
I'm not saying words. I'm right. If FRX was in
I don't
here,
watch that
he'd have
shit.
my back, man.
You know what? At least King Crimson makes sense when you actually have a good translation for what it is. It's really complicated, but there's logic there, and it's explained. But fucking like they never sit you down and say what Yarwick's powers are. And the one time they try to, it's very obvious that's not how it works. Like it just doesn't work that way.
You mean when he talked about how he gave the power to the people, and then when they died in like a few months because of it, he got the power back, and that's how he lived.
Well, that too, which was fucking retarded. Because it said it was supposed to take him 9 days to conquer the world. He made it like 3 days.
What the hell is that like fish thing? Legs.
That's Slark from Dota 2.
Oh.
More fuck.
Did you read that new Harry Potter book?
No, I heard it's terrible.
The new one?
I didn't read it, but I really like the premise, which is that Harry Potter's son and Draco's son are best friends, and they are constantly on the verge of flunking out of Hogwarts because they're really bad at it. I think that's a really good premise.
It's like typical writing. It's like, oh, Bartu's a dumb idiot. Oh, nope, never mind. He's broken as fuck. Same shit. Every character. Watch, they're gonna be flunking out.
It's like
they're gonna save the day, and people are gonna realize that they were actually stronger than all of us.
It actually kind of sounds like the setup for like an Adult Swim show. It's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Oh boy.
Be the cursed child.
The Cursed Child is Voldemort's child, probably.
Who fucked Voldemort?
Back to Bleach.
I think Draco's mom did.
Damn.
Which every time I think of Voldemort, I think of that dude from Smashing Pumpkins, because he also doesn't do.
Oh, 1979.
Who the fuck gives a shit about Bleach? God damn it. We haven't even actually talked about the ending.
No, what are we supposed to do?
Let's get on it, yeah. Let's we have to talk about it.
Boss, you talk about it. I don't want to.
Alright. So yeah. Yuha is just sitting on his chair, chilling, and then Ichiro comes up, and everyone notices, or most people notice, that he looks a bit different. His clothes are a bit different.
Those pictures?
What?
Those pictures of the spoilers?
Oh, you mean the Renji Rukia kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's apparently
That's
it.
kid?
Yeah.
Ew, what the?
Yeah, that kid's ass ugly. I guess he's Renji's kid, so what can you expect? But
Ichigo's kid better be good looking, because there's no way like it's gonna come out ugly. The fuck?
So apparently it's been like one really long day in Bleach, and Yuha's like slept like twice during it, and he wakes up from his like nightmare dream as Ichigo like slashes into his shoulder, and he says like, "What a perfect nightmare," and he's all really fucking weird about it. And then Ichigo comes to the Orihime, and then you just know that shit's not gonna end well. This Orihime's there. You're just like, oh god, what could possibly go wrong? Everything could go wrong. Let's see. Yeah, Ichigo just keeps swinging in, no plan, like a fucking dumb fuck. But then, as he keeps swinging in, his real goal comes out, and his sword turns white. And apparently it has something to do with releasing his whatever Quincy powers were on his sword.
no, it's the opposite, because he's like,
oh, yeah. But it has a Quincy effect when it comes up.
like Ichigo has Hollow and Quincy powers, and he fucking like shifts his powers full Hollow to fight Yarwick, and he gets stronger. Which implies he can go full Quincy, but he never does.
That's boring. That's boring. Ichigo's boring.
Then he grows a horn out of the side of his head, and he looks fucking retarded.
I like the mask better.
The horns have always been a really dumb visual thing. They're too big.
Wait, what the fuck does the black round hole in the wall have to do with Bach? What the fuck? Or
What?
Finishes Yuzu's room on the second floor, blah blah blah. A black round hole opens up on the wall, and each kid reaches his arm into it. Like, why?
I think Boss is talking about the final fight between Ichigo and Yarwick rather than the actual end quite yet. So whatever.
That's what I was talking
Ichigo.
about. I was like, what the fuck?
No, we're gonna talk about this fight. We have to talk about it.
Okay, sure, whatever. Yarwick, fucking, god damn it, Ichigo uses his Bankai, and then Yarwick breaks it, which is actually a really good moment.
It's been, I think it was actually like 1 microsecond to break. It's the same exact scene, like nothing changed except the sword's completely gone.
It was really cool.
And Ichigo's got fucked in the ass, honestly. Got kicked over, Orihime tried to help, didn't help. Then Orihime got stabbed or something.
Then he starts crying into the ground. And then Yarwick leaves, basically. And then Rukia and Reggie show up.
Man, fuck this stupid ending. I'm gonna fucking go to Japan and murder Kubo.
Yarwick turns around and he's like, "Don't follow me, please." And they follow him. But also these characters from like 300 chapters ago show up and they fix Ichigo's sword. And then Ichigo goes to follow and fight Yarwick, and then Yarwick breaks his sword again. And Ichigo slowly realizes, oh, I probably should have thought of a way to not get my sword broken.
He probably thought, oh, I guess I am shit out of
what the fuck?
hand.
Was I talking and did I disconnect?
Yeah, you weren't talking. We didn't hear you talk, but we heard you. We saw you leave. Who cares?
What did I say?
I don't know.
Oh.
And
So yeah, he goes to the portal after stealing Ichigo's powers. Apparently, his Hollow and Quincy powers. You know, for some reason he takes his Hollow power. I don't. Kubo doesn't even know what he did. He just wanted to have foreshadowing for his kid in the future to not have Hollow powers. So he just wanted to, like, I need to get rid of this right now. Yuha needs to take his powers because I already know what ending I have in mind. Kid cannot be part Hollow.
that would have been cool. If Ichigo's daughter is born with like a missing eye, like half her face is a skull.
The fucking horn.
Yo, that'd be fucking awesome.
The fucking horn's back.
If it came out all fucked up.
There's a hole in his chest. He goes to school.
We go 17 years into the future, and Ichigo's daughter is like half a skeleton. Dude, that'd be awesome. I would read Bleach 2 if if the main love interest was half skeleton.
Half woman, half skeleton.
Half woman, half skeleton.
So yeah, he goes to the portal. For some reason, he makes the portal. And people were thinking, like, oh, he's going to make his own dimension. I remember Andy talking about it. He's like, yeah, he made his own dimension. And then since Ichigo powers are lost, yeah, Kisuke Urahara is going to come in and use the same stuff that they used to power up the rocket when they went to this royal realm. And he's going to use it on Ichigo, and he's going to get his power back. That was Andy's theory. Next chapter comes, he just goes to Soul Society. Yeah, they're just jumping back and forth between Soul Society and the royal realm, and it's just fucking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then Aizen's there, and Yuha for some reason was like, "Yo, do you want to I don't even know what Yuha said. What do you mean? Why do you even free Aizen? What's up with that?"
He didn't free Aizen. He tried to kill him, and he accidentally broke his chains because Aizen's immortal.
Oh boy.
And then Ichigo jumps in, and Aizen uses his mind powers on him, and everyone are fucking. God damn it! This thing's fucking stupid.
And then the whole chapter is just illusions. And then there you see the strongest Hado in the game. I mean, in the fucking game, in Bleach, and nothing comes of it. Just like Tekken said, I sound like Tekken right now. God damn it!
I hate you so much, Big Boss.
Tekken.
Fucking. If I sound like Tekken right now, I'll leave this call.
Tekken.
Anyway.
I like
Hado.
Street Fighter better.
What? Street Fighter. So yeah,
Akuma's
Aizen.
in the Tekken.
Aizen does the Hado. Nothing happens. Ichigo comes from behind. Sneak attack. That definitely sounds like Ichigo, doesn't it?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah. Sneak attacking is definitely Ichigo's way. You know,
Oh.
his full frontal assault for everything he's ever done in the anime, in the manga, altogether. One sneak attack, that's all he does. And now, so yeah, Yuha just falls into a pile of goop, and he's like, I'm not dead. Aizen dies. Not really. He doesn't die. Ichigo almost dies. Ishida fires an arrow. That was Deus Ex Machina. Yuha loses all his powers for a second. Ichigo comes at him with the sword ready. He breaks his
No one
bonk.
cares.
What? Wow, Hody, that's not very nice. Bankai breaks. Shike comes out. Everyone loses their minds. Well, not really. Yes, really. Yuha dies. And, time skip. 10 months. 10 months, 10 years. That's how I meant. You know, he loses. He,
Good explanation.
everyone, it took 10 years to rebuild Soul Society, you know? 10 years to rebuild the afterlife. And Yuha comes back. Not really. He does, but Yuha comes back and then Ichigo or Hime have a kid. Ruki and Renji have a kid, and he's god fucking ugly. And that's the end of Bleach. And
Let's
that's
sum it up. You can sum it up like this.
Worst fucking storyteller I've ever heard.
I know.
fuck you,
shit.
man.
Weekly Shonen Jump put a noose around Kubo's neck, and Kubo kicked the stool out from under himself. That's basically what happened. It's his fault and Weekly Shonen Jump's fault that this is the way it is. If you would've, it's also because like if you just would've written good or like fucking closed it up, maybe they wouldn't have kicked them out of the fucking.
I'm not good at storytelling, by the way. Hope you
What
noticed.
I definitely didn't notice.
Oh, fuck you, and fuck you too.
Everyone grows up and has kids. Who cares? And what?
Everyone does the fuck and kids, and that's it.
You sound like a virgin.
Fuck you. I ain't no virgin, bitch.
That's exactly what
That
a virgin.
sounds like what something a virgin would say. I knew you'd
That's
say
what a virgin would say.
that.
Thank you. I know you are, but what am I? Not a virgin.
Not virgin. Oh man, we're actually talking about this live. I get really self-conscious when I know I'm being recorded.
I don't give a fuck.
It already fucking leaves again. Man.
No, I'm still. The hell? Did you move?
This is how, what was I gonna say? I think this is how it...
sucks.
What?
So what you were gonna say is Bleach is garbage now?
I don't know what to say. Honestly. No clue. No clue, man.
I'm over it. I was really upset. I was like, remember all that sad music we had ready, and now it's like for naught.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb ending.
I was in a
It's so
stream.
stupid.
That music was gonna be playing, and nothing. It's not gonna happen now.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm just upset now.
Fucking dicks out for Kubo. Fucking dicks out for Shonen Jump to how I deal with that ending.
Man, I just hope that there has to be something missing here, please.
Like the Soul King? Who the fuck's the Soul King now? Yuha's fucking dead.
I wanna,
Something. Like,
Take
give me
a look.
some extra page or
Extra page of what? The kids
know.
talking to each other?
the kid.
And everyone's like, oh, cute. People are
If
supposed to
kid
say how cute.
stabs Renji's kid in the face.
It's an ugly fucking kid. I feel sorry for Renji. Oh man. The
Got it
OTP.
on.
The shit no one wanted.
At least his kid's not coated in tattoos like he is.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he got that when he was in fucking prison. And by prison, I mean the outer districts.
Isn't there like a person who's a fanboy who has a tattoo on his head
Huh?
or something? Isn't there like a fanboy of Renji who also has like a tattoo?
No, it wasn't Renji. It was Isugai. Isugi? I don't know.
That was probably the wrong idea. Whatever. All right.
Kubo doesn't even remember him, so we don't remember him.
This was moderately fun until my roommate came in and decided to shit it up, but whatever.
Yeah, what a fucking cunt. Call him out.
Hey, Kadeem, my friend Boss thinks you're a cunt.
A British one.
Oh, I told him he can't talk while I'm podcasting, so he doesn't want to answer. Or maybe he's just obsessed with The Witness. That's how it have ended, was with a TED Talk, like The Witness does.
The TED Talk?
Just a TED Talk. Just Kubo explains of how you were under the impression for so long.
And Bleach ends as Kurosaki Ichigo, 15-year-old boy, wakes up from a coma after he was attacked and his mom was killed.
It's Kubo's son.
6 years ago.
And
And that's what happens. No, that's what
Kubo
happens.
wakes
He wakes up in a coma.
Kubo's there and he says, "When were you under the impression that you were a Soul Reaper?" Then
My favorite
boom,
part
ending.
of the shit show of Bleach ending is how people are treating Kubo like this tortured artist.
And now he's not.
Wait, actually, isn't Renji's kid a girl?
No, I think Renji's kid is a dude and Ichigo's is a girl.
Yep.
I thought it was the other way around.
No.
Ichigo has the Skull daughter, hopefully.
Isn't it? Because I think that might actually be the case.
I
Let me
want
see.
Ichigo's daughter to be Skullomania from Street Fighter, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's a high order of Kubo.
I know.
Because you know something about Kubo, he doesn't know anything about his own fan base.
He got pretty close with Ichigo's.
Yeah, Renji's kid is a girl.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a girl?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's a prank.
This is her hairstyle is like Renji's and her
Oh
eyes are
my
stupid.
god, that's a girl?
I see that Renji has a.
And Ichigo's kid is a dude. What a dumb ending. Oh my god. So stupid. All that seriousness that led up to this, Aizen fucking like basically getting like disintegrated. Ichigo last stand and then it's like funny ending.
Raw XD.
I know.
My favorite part about Bleach ending is the notion that Kubo is like this poor, tortured artist, and that he is being denied the chance to give fans the ending that he wants to give them.
Well, he has the chance right now, this last chapter. And guess what he did? He fucked up.
Like the motherfucker had 4 years.
Oh man.
Could you imagine if anything else did that? Imagine you're watching Breaking Bad and they say, "This is the last season of Breaking Bad," and it takes 4 years.
Yeah, but it's different because like
not even like, oh well, we're polishing it up because we want it to be the best ending possible. Like there's an
you
episode.
gotta think every episode is like an hour long, and each chapter of Bleach is like 12, so you can put a lot of chapters into it.
That's the other thing is the art in Bleach. The art's fine. But the chapters are so poorly paced, and I think I know why. Now, I really think Kubo wants to be like Berserk. Because there are chapters in Berserk that are just spreads, and they're like 6 pages.
Oh, but the thing is that Berserk's art is actually good.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, like, incredibly detailed landscapes. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. You know, like, you have to take 6 pages to show that. Whereas in Bleach, it's, oh, I threw some ink all over the page.
Why am I the only one who likes Bleach?
I like Bleach. I don't like
It's
Bleach at the
good.
same time.
I like characters in Bleach. I like Urahara.
I like
Ooh, no.
Aizen, man. You know?
I like Aizen. Series should end with Urahara and Aizen going on a road trip.
Road trip?
Yeah, just going on a road trip with
Uhura just like leaves a fake decoy of Aizen in the rat's nest, and they just fucking go on a road trip. And Aizen's still in the fucking chair.
Yeah. They put an engine on the back of it.
So he just drives around, and Uhura is just hopping on his chair as they drive down the road. Oh man, what a good ending.
Alright. Well, on that note, I guess we'll stop. Because, there's the... whatever.
Because of
It's a good
whatever.
start to this thing that I hope we can do more often.
Oh, that was
There's
shit.
nothing to talk about, and Bleach is dead to me. Kubo's dead to me.
Talk about other shit, I guess. But it's fun to podcast, I find. And the people I used to podcast with don't podcast anymore.
Are they like losers who have lives now?
No, my friend just has decided he doesn't like podcasting, I guess. Or he has too much, I guess. I don't fucking know. I hate you, David.
It's a prank.
I hope you listen to this.
Link it to him.
Come back to, it came from the internet. Everybody. Whatever. You guys got anything you want to plug before you leave? On this thing no one will see?
Big Boss sucks at Counter-Strike. That's all I have to say.
I got my first 30 kills at Counter-Strike yesterday in a single game.
Good for you.
So eat my shorts, nigga.
Racist.
It's not racist.
Okay.
Hey.
It is.
Everyone look up Studio Kumikaze. They make half-decent comments. Look up
No.
Scrapped.
Everyone look up Studio Kubo Cos. Kill yourself, I guess. Whatever.
Look
Bye.
up, yeah, whatever.
Type
Bye.
Kubo. Everyone look up Type Kubo and watch Bleach. Read it.
Kubo watches Bleach.
Wait, what's his Bleach thing?
No, he doesn't. Obviously he doesn't, or he would have understood how popular it was and wouldn't have fucked it all up.
Doesn't read his own series.
Alright. Bye.